Alright, so welcome back guys for and girls for part 45 of the C8 Corvette. This is probably going to be the one before the last tutorial, and then in this tutorial I'm going to be with you still on creating the wing mirror here. And if we have time, we're going to add the Corvette logo in the front, which is the most important part of the whole design, in my opinion. And then, yes, I've been away for quite a while. I haven't been uploading anything. It's just because I had some things that I've been dealing with. All right, so I'm back now, and then the videos is going to be keep coming, and we're going to be keep learning, and things are going to get a lot smoother and a lot better in the next tutorial videos. Alright, so we need to start creating these the wing mirror on this vehicle. It's going to be a little bit complex, but not too complex. It's going to be a solid body in the end. Alright, so let's get started by have a look at some of the pictures that we had or have on the wing mirror. So this section here comes right out. It comes right out from this body here, and then it curves back around here. So basically we just have to create this body that comes out and curves back around here, so which then we can sit the wing mirror on top of it. You can see me here in the reflection as I was taking picture of an actual C8 Corvette, but you can see my face. All right, so let's get to it and then create this sketch on the surface body that we have here. And it's going to be something like that. So it's going to come like that, down here, straight, and in here in this direction. So it's almost like a parallelogram. So it's not a box. It's not. It's a parallel. Yeah, it's a bit hard to say that word. Anyways, yeah, I'm not native English speaker. However, I've been living in the United States and England for over 35 years. Anyways, let's get to it. So let's start by removing this polished plastic, blue or green color. I'm not sure what color is it, but let's remove that. All right, and then we're going to make a sketch on this body here. So let's jump over to our first display state here. First display state, obviously. And then we're going to add a glass appearance on the whole thing for now. All right. And then we're going to make a sketch on any of these top planes down here. No motor profile. And then we just want to get this section here, obviously. So as we talked about, it comes down like that and comes in like that way. All right, so let's grab a line. Let's grab a line, and then we're gonna go from here to here, all the way out to here, up to this point, and then connect this point there. And that's okay. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit and pull this down just a little bit. So it's going to have a little bit of bigger body. And maybe, oh, that looks good actually. All right. So that's that. And then now we can go back to the appearance for now and remove this glass appearance. And then we're going to do a just to see better, let's jump over to second display state, and then we're going to exit the sketch, And then we're going to do a projected curve, and we're going to select this sketch that we just made, and we're going to project it up to this body here. Okay, once we have that one created, we have to define where that edge is. So we're gonna have to go back to the first display state here, and then we're going to make a sketch any of these planes here. Sketch, normal to profile, and then we're just going to add some points at this point. So basically it's going to come around like that, and gonna come around like that. So it's going to be one going to be here, and one going to be here. Okay, and then once we have those 2 points defined, those in those areas, I'm going to exit the sketch, and then we can just jump over to the second display state and jump into 3D sketch and grab a center line. And we're going to bring the center line up on the XY or ZY axis, as long as it's a Y, so it's going upwards. So snap all the way up here, and then another construction line on the X and Y. It also could be Z and Y, all the way up there. Okay, and then we're just going to make another center line to connect these 2 points on the X and Z. X and Z, so we are nice and parallel. X and Z. And in the midway of this point we'll define our plane. So the reason why we created these construction lines to create our plane on that which we can create our sketch of the other edge of that body that will curve around, which will be a surface loft. So let's grab another center line here, construction line. And this time again we want to be on the X and Z, so we want to go around this way, so not up, and we want to be nice and parallel with that line. Control Z to get rid of these, and then let's bring ourselves in some of the better views so we can see things a little bit better. So let's grab the center line, snap it in the middle, and then let's grab that parallel. So that's our parallel right there. And we can just make that more. And then hold Control and then make that perpendicular. There you go. So hold Control, click one, and then hold Control, click the other one, and press perpendicular, and that will create the perfect parallel situation for you, for us. All right, so once we have that, let's exit the sketch. And now we can add our plane, which is going to be deselecting this line and this point, and press OK. And then that's where we're going to draw our second sketch, of course. So let's click on this small plane here and make a sketch on that plane. And then let's press normal to profile. from this direction, and then we can bring in our first display state here, just so we can see where that wing mirror body actually lines up, which is somewhere here. Yeah, which is there, right there. So let's grab a center line and just grab that center line from the bottom of this wing mirror. Well, the blueprint is not really the best. Right, so let's just come all the way to this point here, and that will define where our next box should be. So let's grab the line, and then we're just gonna come up to about that much, come down here, and then connect these lines here. Okay, so that's going to look good for us. It's going to curve around like so. All right, so now that we created these profiles here, let's jump over to the second display state here quickly. Second display state, and let's hide some of the things that we are not using. So just let's exit the sketch first. Let's hide this line here. Oh, Control Z to bring that back. I guess we can leave that construction line there. We can try and hide the plane. Let's exit the sketch. Oh, Control Z to bring the sketch back. Trim. Okay. And exit the sketch. Let's just jump to the future tree here, come down and bring that sketch back here. So show. All right, and let's try to hide this plane and then these lines that we used for our construction geometry. Let's hide these points as well, because I don't want to keep things on my second display state. I like to keep it clean. All right, so obviously this point here will come up like that and will connect to this point here. So it will come up like that and then curve around, and it will connect to this upper point here, obviously. So okay, so let's connect these together. So let's go to 3D sketch, grab that spline, and then go from this corner up to that corner there, and then we're just gonna jump to the front of the car here, and then click on that line and add that profile right here. So we want that to come up, want this to extrude upwards like that, extrude upwards in that fashion, and then maybe bring that down a little bit so we have a more beautiful body here. I almost said something. Anyways, okay, so once that's done, let's jump to the top here, and then we're gonna jump into our first display state. Of course, we're going to pull that in this direction like so, something like that. Okay, so it's curving upwards and it's curving inwards. Let's just get another view from the top here. Maybe it's better if we're curving a little bit outwards, like that. Yeah, that will be a little bit better, because it will come up like that and it will connect into that point. right? And if yeah, so let's exit this here, and let's try to create this loft without creating any self-intersecting geometry, which we probably will, but then we will check what we can do. So let's go to surfaces and let's do a loft. Let's select this profile here, and then this sketch here, and then let's select the guide curve, which is this one here, and that in fact created the perfect shape that I was looking for. All right, so press OK. All right, so that looks good, and it does cap some of the aerodynamics in this area as well. And we don't have any self-intersecting geometry anywhere here. All right. Okay, so one more left thing to do is hide some of these sketches here. Hide that, and hide these construction lines as well. And then we want to fill this up, this end. Press OK. And then let's just do a filled surface on these bottom sections as well. Okay, and then let's knit these together. And press OK. Okay, that's good. Let's just go back to the feature tree for a second here, and delete that knit. All right, and then let's jump over to the second display state, and let's just hide this sketch here, and let's hide this one as well. Okay, and let's save the model at this point. Right, so we're going to continue with this, and so basically we want to add a plane on top of this surface here. It don't need to be exact, so to do that we're going to jump into 3D sketch here, grab a 3D point, obviously drop it somewhere in the middle, and then we're going to bring that line down. So center line, construction 3D line, and I'm gonna bring it down to about here. Don't worry about if it's not straight. We're gonna straighten it out and set it into position where we want it, because the surface itself is not straight. It has a little bit of angle here. So you're going to move that line about here, and I just want to make sure that we are straight in this direction, of course. So I'm going to click on the line and fix it along the y-axis, and press OK. And is not fixed along the z-axis, so we can move it this way, right? So let's jump into view here, so we will be able to well, we'll be able to take that axis fix out afterwards. Anyways, all right, so let's try and drop that plane now on top of this here. So exit the sketch and press plane, and then click on the line and click on the point. And as we can see already, we need to move this line, right? So we can set the plane in a good angle. So let's take this line here and then edit this line sketch. Okay, click on the line and let's take off that along y-axis and exit. So now we can move the line in this direction, and then it should set our plane in an angle that we need it to. So if we zoom in a little bit, maybe we need to set it just a little bit more. About that much, maybe it's too much. To zoom in, and that should be perfect. So now we have a nice angle in that direction as well. Okay, and then so now we have that plane set the way we want it. We can hide this construction line, and we can create our first sketch on this plane here. So make a sketch on that plane and then press normal to profile. And if you look at one of our pictures here, which is going to be, let's look at this picture first. So as we can see, we got a couple of levels here. So we got the lower level that is down here, and then we got a second level. These are all planes, of course, and then we have a third level up here, which is going to be a constraint curve to create that curvy face structure up there. Okay, so let's create the first level, which is down there. And let's look at a picture here, which will tell us the shape that we are after. So the shape that we are after is going to be this edge here. So it comes out up like that. So we're going to make a curve, and then we add a few spline points to create this shape here. All right. So let's make that first line, which is going to be, well, let's just create a center line first to define our headlight angle, which is probably going to fall somewhere here to here, and that will define that headlight for us. Okay, and then now let's grab that curve and add that curve from this point all the way up to this point here. And then we're just going to add a few spline points on this. Actually, let's Control Z with these spline points, and let's add the initial curvature, and then after we will add our spline points. Okay, so we need to create that actual shape. So let's add these spline points. Let's add one here, 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 and here. And click on the line and get control polygons on that line here. So now we can create that actual shape. Alright, so that's the shape we're after. It's going to go straight up and then curves down here. So that's some profile here and straight, straight and profile. So kind of going for that here. Straightness here as well. And a little bit of profile on this area. And then let's pull that a little bit this way. Alright, and that looks good. Alright, so that's a first profile for us. And let's close up this sketch here from this point to this point. And press OK. Okay, so that's our first level on that wing mirror, which is the lower level. And the lower level actually needs to be the smallest. So let's jump back in here for a second. And then make that a lower level a little bit smaller, with keeping our shape. And make it a little smaller. For the first level. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Press OK. And let's just make sure that our sketch is not going into anything, and the second level will not go into anything as well. So let's just jump to the top here and then make sure that we don't have that relationship there, so we can move that where we want it to be. Let's move it out to here because that's a first level, and then we don't want the wing mirror to go too close to the actual window there. So let's keep it somewhere there for first level. That looks good. Okay, so now we have to create the second level, and the second level is going to be not that much higher. It's going to be this edge here. So let's create that plane. Let's exit this sketch. And then add a plane off of this plane, of course. We want to keep the angle right. So bring that up and just roughly get it into that level here. And again, this level is not that high. So let's just scrape that. Let's just keep that 3. And then press OK. All right. And then we want to make a sketch on this plane. Normal to profile. Okay. And then we can do a converted entities with these lines, and then we can do an offset of, obviously, just try a smaller one. And then 3 Let's try 3 on that, on the second level. Let's just have a look again. So maybe if we just edit this offset here, or just delete this offset. Let's do a Control Z instead. Okay, and let's do that offset again. So offset, and let's go about let's go with for this lower level. No. Yeah, let's go with 3, and let's cut out this inner one here. Still gonna be good. Okay, and then now we just need to add some profile curvatures from this line to this line here. Actually, I want to. It needs to be a 3D sketch. So let's jump into here and grab a 3D sketch, 3D spline from this point to this point. So let's make sure that line is straight. And let's look into it from this angle. Okay, so that's good. And then let's give this a line of profile here. So I want to make it here relatively straight, so that our next level will kind of bleeds in with the other one. So click on that. Actually, that might work perfectly for us. Keep that like that. And then let's do a surface, boundary surface on these 2 lines here. So this line, and for direction 2, let's select this line here. Don't worry that is like that, because it's going to be a solid body, so we will correct extrude off this section. So press OK. Let's just have a look from this angle here. So we want to add another one actually here, another profile, another constraint curve there as well, because it's curving in here, which we don't want it to curve in. So cut that out. And then we're gonna come in here, 3D sketch, and we're gonna come from this line to this line, and then just get into profile view in this area here, and let's just move that profile, add that profile on this curvature as well. Exit. Okay, and let's try that boundary surface again. So surfaces, boundary surface, select the bottom one, and select the top one. And let's select the constraint curves, which is one of them is this one. and the second one is going to be this one here, and press OK. All right, so that's a lot better. Perfect. All right, so now let's create the third level on this wing mirror assembly, and the third level plane is going to fall from this plane here. So let's do plane, and this plane here. Let's flip that plane upwards. Let's get into view so we can see how high that needs to be. Let's have a look at our picture here, and that third level is actually a little bit higher. So it's probably double the height as our first level was. So let's make that 6. Maybe a little bit higher, 8. I think we can go 10 on that. Yeah, with 10, and then press OK. And then we're just gonna do the same thing. I was gonna make a sketch on this upper plane here, and normal to profile. And of course, it's going to be this other line that we are after. So let's convert these lines here, this line and then this line. Okay, and this section, this second level is going to be smaller than the first level. So I mean the first level. So let's do an offset, and it's probably going to be the same size as the first level here. Okay, so press OK, and let's cut out the outside perimeter here. Alright, so press OK on that, and then we're just gonna do the same thing like the other one. We're going to add some constraint curves on these one to create that body as well. So let's go to sketch, 3D sketch. Let's grab that spline. I'm going to add one here. Okay. And let's just make sure that we are straight. We should be straight because. All right, and then let's just get into that view. So as long as the points are lining up, then we know that we will have a good pull on this one. All right, so for the bottom one, we're going to pull it out to about here, so it sort of follows this curvature here. All right, and on the top, I'm going to add a little bit like that. So the top section will be a little bit flat-ish. So that's good for that. That's okay. And again, we're going to add another other one here to here. So if you zoom in and if you look at your box, as long as your box are lining up, then you know that your line will be straight. Okay, so let's line that up as well. And let's give this a nice profile as well. We want to make sure that it follows this curvature. And over here. And then we have a little bit up in this direction. Okay, that's good. And because it's a bigger piece, we're just going to add another one, just a straight one from here to here. Okay. All right, and just to, yeah, so that's good. And then now we're just going to try and create that surface here. All right. So let's go to surfaces and then boundary surface. And let's do a selection manager with the right click and select this line here and this line and press OK. And then select this line, and then I will select all of that. And now let's go and select our constraint curves, all that's needed, and press OK. All right, and then let's have a look at our surface. All right, so it did not select this one here. So let's delete the surface here. And let's do that again. Boundary surface, selection manager. Press OK. And select the top line. And for the guide curves, let's select this one here. And let's select this line here. And press OK. All right, so that surface is I think we have a little bit of issue here in this corner. So let's go back. And then clear selection, press OK. All right, so we deselected this one here. Yeah, actually we deselected all the constraint curves on this area here, and then we're just probably going to add fillets on this corner, which is probably going to be a better option for us. All right, let's hide these lines. All right, so let's just quickly fill the lower section up with the filled section with this filled command. So let's select the lower edges here. That's filled in. Okay, and then we're just going to grab a 3D sketch. And we're going to bring that 3D sketch from this edge to this edge here. And I'm just going to look in from the side. And pull this up. Something like that. And hopefully that will create the surface we're looking for. Exit the sketch. Or actually, we can just add fillet on this one instead of playing with this. So let's go to surfaces, fill surface, and let's get this filled up. So let's have a look at this wing mirror here. So I think it should be a little bit higher. I think so. Let's delete this surface here. And then let's just add that 3D sketch from this edge to this edge. Let's have a look from the top. Okay, and let's just add this curvature profile here. Something like that, maybe. Okay, and we see what shape we can bring out of this. The surface is fill surface. Let's select the edge. And for the constraint curve, this one here. So let's try that again. So fill surface. All right, and then constraint curve is this one here. So it won't look, actually, it won't be what I'm after. So let's delete this line. Okay, and then we're just gonna try to extend these edges here a little bit. If we can. Or yeah, let's just leave it like that, and then because time is going, and then we're going to fix this up in the next tutorial. So let's fill this off for real quickly. All right. All right, and then let's knit everything together in terms of surfaces. And we have one done here as well. And now we can create solid out of this. Okay, and then let's add a fillet on this edge here. All right, so actually that turned out to be pretty good. We will add some more stuff to it as well. Let's try and add a fillet on this side as well. Let's try and go with 3 first. All right, so it's not that bad. We will fix it up in the next tutorial, and we will still need to add the blinkers on this side as well. So there's one more thing left to do is we need to cut this wing mirror is straight. So for that, we're going to use the top plane. How much time we have left? All right, so top plane. Let's make a sketch on the top plane. Normal to profile, and then of course I wanna get a better view on this. So let's get into wireframe here for a second. So maybe wireframe is we need a bit deeper, go deeper on that. Please don't freeze on me. Alright, so that's the line I was looking for down here, so we need to cut something there. Alright, so let's make that spline, and we're gonna make that spline from here to here. And let's give that spline a little bit of profile, about that much. And let's close up this sketch. Okay, exit the sketch. Hope we won't freeze. All right, and let's get back into the shaded mode here quickly. And we're just gonna pull this up and cut extrude this solid body. So cut extrude, and let's select this sketch here. So features, first exit the sketch obviously on my part, and extrude, and we're gonna use this sketch. We're gonna cut extrude upwards, and it will only cut the wing mirror because that's the only solid body. All right, so that looks pretty good actually, considering. We will still need a little bit of work on that wing mirror, just a little bit more, just to fine tune everything and add some more details to it. Let's hide these planes here. Let's hide these planes. All right, and then let's mirror this over. Mirror, and then we're going to use the front plane, and then bodies to mirror is going to be this one, and this lofted section here, and make sure that we don't forget this small surface there. Press OK. All right, so we have our wing mirrors on the C8 Corvette. All right, thanks very much for following me in this tutorial, and then I'll see you back in the next tutorial. We will work a little bit more on the wing mirrors, and then finally putting the Corvette logo on, and then that will be it. And I will speed run through all the interiors and engine components and everything else. And then once that's done, we're gonna get into the next project. All right, thanks very much. Bye bye.